What's up, everybody? How are you doing? It is the CBC Wizdumb Hour number 152 for Tuesday, October 5th, 2021. I'm Steve Witchell in New Orleans.
What's happening? Tony B coming to you from New Jersey.
That's right. Tony, you changed your name. What was it before?
It was TB Time Bomb. It was the Fabulous T for a while. So you never know what you're going to get, Steve.
Now it's just your name.
Now it's just Tony Beinert. I know. What are you going to do?
All right. Welcome, everybody. We are live right now at that time that I said. Well, I didn't say the time. It's 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. If you're not watching at that time, you are watching the replay.
At the time, I didn't say that we were on.
At that time equivalent, you're watching the replay. Please make sure if you're watching in the group and you're watching live to let StreamYard show your name. Just click on that link. That's all it does. It's let StreamYard show your name, which is what we're using here. And I did remember this week to put a link in for YouTube. So go to YouTube and subscribe to our channel.
There you go.
That's where all these videos are archived that we've been doing, plus other stuff that Cover Band Central does. So click on that link and subscribe so you're notified when we go live. And
win a prize when you sign up.
Get a big thank you hug from Tony.
Yes, and be in the pool to be eligible to win a big super secret prize.
Yes, but please comment and say hello if you're watching live and tell us where you're from, and we will interact with you.
We'll do our best to.
Facebook user said it's 5 p.m. on the West Coast, the best coast, they say.
There you go.
And that's somebody in the group who did not click on the link for StreamYard to let them show his name or her name. Could be, I can't assume it's a guy. But usually, we got a mix, a 50-50, I think.
Yeah, we got a good ratio.
We got a good 50-50 mix of guys and girls.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't say anything about the website because we're going to talk about the website.
Okay, let's talk about the website.
Today's topic, Tony, that I chose.
Yes, do tell.
But before we do get to the topic, though, I have to comment on more pictures that I've seen now. Sleepy Hollow. What is going on? What are you just going out and about every week or weekend now?
Yeah, every weekend. Well, it's fall, so that's typically what I would do. I would go out. Me and Cameron would go out gallivanting, for one day out of the weekend.
I'm a big fan of the gallivanting.
Yeah, I like it too. It's very cool. It's venture, it's journey. You got to live life, Steve. You got to get out there and just do stuff,
I hear you.
Very cool. You learned all about Lyndhurst Mansion in Terrytown, New York.
Right.
Very cool place. It's the kind of place I'd like to live in.
Really?
Scenic 14,000 square foot, mansion, castle type building, decorated in the late 1800s. It's pretty cool.
Very nice. That's a nice area. My grandmother used to live there.
And they had a minstrel's room where it was this giant art gallery room. And there's like a balcony up in the back there. And I asked the lady, I said, what is that balcony for? And she said, oh, I'm glad you asked that because this is the art room, and had all like commissioned portraits of all these famous people and whatnot, from the owner that lived there. And they had, it's a minstrel, and they put bands up there and entertainment. And then the guests would sit down below and watch up through the little window.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Are there pictures of that?
There is a picture of that, yes.
All right, I have to find it now because
you will have to.
I confess I didn't scroll through all the pictures.
I see. Well, then you really didn't do a thorough investigation now, did you?
No, I just saw the Headless Horseman, and Karen made a whole folder here of
oh yeah, Sleepy Hollow style.
Sleepy Hollow in New York. So let's
there is no, but it's not Sleepy Hollow, it's Lyndhurst Mansion. So you have to go to the mansion one.
Oh, is there a mansion folder?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm just scrolling through the Sleepy Hollow pictures. You on a bridge, there's some river there.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going on there.
Okay, so that's not the correct. Oh, no. Lyndhurst Mansion. Here we go.
There you go.
There's 40 pictures.
Yeah, you don't need to see all 40.
Actually, there's more than 40.
So actually, I can just show you, Steve, real quick, so our viewers.
Oh, you can show us. You can show us. Okay, let's do that then.
Yeah, but I can show you in a very primitive way.
No, show us on the screen way.
Yes, see, so that is...
Okay, I'll find the real picture.
Yes, that is the picture. But up in the top area right here, that little door was where the bands would come play. They'd hide behind that door. And below that was a bedroom and some other cool stuff. But you may find it. So look for that. Look for that picture, Steve. It's got the big wood vaulted ceiling.
Okay? I'm looking for that picture.
That's what we're looking for. All right.
Yeah, there's a lot of pictures to go through here, so I'm scrolling.
There sure is. It was quite an eventful day. But while you're looking for that, Steve, while you're perusing the photo albums, I will tell you one of the coolest things I thought was that some of the trees were over 400 years old. So they
Wow.
were big, big trees, you know?
Right. I don't think this picture is in this photo album.
Okay, so the
Unfortunately.
minstrels got cut out, but you get the idea. They had a big, giant, long room, and at the end of the room was a stained glass window looking out over the Hudson River, and then you turn your back to the window and look the other way, and there was a minstrel's room above where the bands would play, and then straight ahead was a little alcove with steps up to it into a back bedroom, like its own little bedroom suite with a bathroom, and then it was a door right and left, and one was the closet and one was the steps up to like the minstrel place. It reminded me of
Right.
Lake Valhalla Country Club. When we played Lake Valhalla Country Club, it was very similar to that.
Okay.
The dance floor in the wedding was below, and the band was up on this like balcony, really kooky. The way they had the band set up, like you had to look over the balcony to see the crowd below.
Right.
So the wedding was going on, and people were dancing on the dance floor, but the band was out of sight above.
Huh.
Yeah,
I guess that, yeah,
very
that was the way it
strange.
was in the old days. Keep the musicians separate from everything else.
Yeah,
Like at orchestras, you know, you have an
uh,
orchestra pit and it
yeah.
stays away from all the other things going on stage and
But think
whatnot.
about that too, like you said, like now today, you know, the band is interactive. You know, everyone's you're part of the show. You know, the band is front and center, and everyone's gathered around it, as opposed to like you said, them being up in a separate room, elevated from everybody else. You know,
Right.
so
Very
pretty interesting.
cool.
But yeah, very cool day.
I do really miss the fall up in the Northeast, and I would be doing the same thing if I was up there, going out every weekend and exploring. It's the best weather. It's just it looks beautiful with
Well, that's what it was. It was like 70 degrees out, like 72 degrees out. It's
right,
beautiful, sunny, you know, but not blazing sun. It was a little overcast, so they had some clouds. But yeah,
right,
really cool day, and the leaves are just starting to turn, so they're not even turned yet, you know what I mean?
right. But that's a
So,
nice time.
yeah,
Cool,
beautiful.
good times.
And I played outdoor gig too on Saturday.
Okay, do tell.
Another beautiful event. It was outdoors at a farm upstate New York. It's a big fall festival with, you know, corn mazes, and Cousin's Lobster Truck was there, and they had a whole bunch of people and events going on and kayaking, and it was this big giant, you know, pond next to this huge, I think 65-acre farm. So it was really cool. And we played in this giant enclosed gazebo outdoors. Again, beautiful weather, right? You know, pond side. Um, you know, great turnout, a lot of people. Then I'm off this coming weekend, and then we're playing the following weekend.
Ah, that's great.
Yeah,
What a
another
great time of year.
outdoor fall fest hayride, like pumpkin thing.
You're
That's
making me
towards the
so
end of the month.
jealous.
Yeah,
You're making me
we got
so jealous. I love that time of year up in New Jersey and New York, and it's I really miss it. I'm gonna have to visit
yeah, it's
soon.
big for the Northeast, so you have to figure out when you're coming up.
Yeah. Um, very cool. Um,
Maybe Steve, hop in your car after the broadcast and come on up.
I could do that.
You could.
Technically, I could do that.
Technically speaking, you could do anything you want. You
That
know?
is also true.
Like if I wanted to eat this crunchy piece of pretzel right now,
On the air like that and crunching.
I could do that if I wanted to, but I'm not going to subject the viewers to that.
All right, you're a nice guy.
Yep.
Um,
So what's happening in the Cover Band Central land, and
so
what are we talking website?
what are we talking? Website, right? Well, nobody's. Lots of people watching, and nobody's talking. So say hello. Tell us where you're from. We'd like to know how far we're reaching in this world. So say hello.
Yeah, where are you watching from?
Right. Like we tell you right in the beginning of the broadcast that I'm in New Orleans and Tony
See,
is in New
and what
Jersey.
was great though was when we didn't have the video portion of it, we could be anywhere.
We could have been anywhere, and we were other
We were.
places.
I was in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. I was in Honduras one time. I think I was in Spain. Good sound
Right.
effects.
Yeah. Little Rock, I think. You
Yep, we were
were there.
in Neil Peart's living room while he was still alive early on, a
That was
couple years
great. That
back.
was a great episode.
Yeah.
Jody's in Seattle. Hi, Jody.
Hola, Jody.
Poncho's in Los Angeles, the city of angels.
West Coasters.
Yes. So the topic I chose was you may have heard in the news because you're not on Facebook, that yesterday Facebook went down for about 7 hours.
Yeah, I did hear that.
Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, the all the companies that are owned by Facebook, went down. No specific reason has been given that I know, but it did freak a lot of people out. While Marianne's in Ireland, she was aware of the whole thing. Charleston in West Virginia.
Ireland, okay, so
Charleston,
so
West
far she's
Virginia.
the front
Roger.
runner on the distance trophy.
Yes. So it definitely got a lot of people freaked out, and I didn't freak out. Like I was, my sleep schedule is way crazy, man. But I had gotten up early in the morning, then I went back to sleep for a few hours, and I woke up to a text from my buddy Jeff from Los Angeles, and he said, "You must be in a bad mood today, and give me a holler, whenever you want." And I'm like, "What?" Like,
You're
what?
thinking, why? What's going on?
I'm like, "Wait, it's October 4th. Should I be in a bad mood for that day for some reason?" I couldn't figure it out, and then I went to my computer and tried to open Facebook, and it didn't open. And a lot of people do this, and this is exactly what I did: is went to Twitter to see if Facebook down, the hashtag was trending,
Right.
and it was. So I read some of the tweets there, and I'm like, okay. So, and I'm like, oh, and then I called Jeff, and I'm like, why should I be in a bad mood?
Facebook down.
I called Jeff. I'm like, why should I be in a bad mood? He's like, because Facebook's down. I'm like, that's not. Why would that put me in a bad mood? And
you transcend bad moods, Steve. Tell him we transcend bad moods of Facebook. Nonsense.
Dave's in New Orleans, right around the corner. Oklahoma is Chris. 7 hours of sobriety. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, excellent. Good luck.
Better than me. Nick's in the UK. So, but it didn't put me in a bad mood. I was like, because it's happened before. And Jeff was like, it's never happened this bad for this long. I'm like, they'll fix it. I didn't worry about it. It's happened before. It comes back. And, but it certainly got me thinking about, what if it didn't come back? What would I have put most of my eggs in the Facebook basket. And
diversify the portfolio.
Right. There's 340,000 followers on the Facebook Cover Band Central page. There's 59,000 group members on the Facebook Cover Band Central group. That's all. If Facebook's gone, that's 400,000 people gone that I can't connect with and can't connect with each other, which is what they're really enjoying. So, I want to say, because you're not a Facebooker, I mean, obviously it doesn't affect you.
No, it has zero impact on me.
And what's that like?
That is cool. That is enjoying my freedom, Steve, from Facebook and the social media world. However, yes, for more details to follow, but yes, I will be joining on to Facebook. I will be creating some things forthcoming.
You're coming in like late to the party, like where there's just a couple beers left in the fridge, and a lot of people have left already. And,
correct, but I walk in and I walk past
tables overturned and there's
right.
glass broken on the ground.
Right,
but you're still like, yeah, there's
right, because everyone's like, "What are you doing, dude? The party's there's only the stragglers are left," and then I walk through that dismal scene, Steve, past a couple of beers in the fridge because I don't like beer that much. And I go to the back to this old looking cabinet and I open it up, and inside that cabinet, there is a bottle of single malt scotch unopened.
All right.
And let the party begin.
All right. So,
point being, you make the party where you go. You bring the party. I bring the party with me, Steve.
Right.
It doesn't matter if I get there early, if I get there late, the party is still going to be going on. Okay. So I'm late to the party. But you know what? Got to be late sometimes, because as a drummer, I'm always early. Always an hour and a half early to the gig.
As long
but
as you're
I'm
not
always
early while you're playing a song.
last one. Yeah, no,
Don't
you don't
be
want to be rushing, but you don't want to be
don't be
too late
early.
either. That's
Sit in that sweet pocket.
that's right.
It didn't bother Facebook user a bit that Facebook or a bite that
Right.
it went out.
But now I can see if you had viable interest in Facebook and had things that were, important like you do, then yes, be very, very concerned. But for me, when they're like, "Oh, Facebook's down," it's like, yeah, it doesn't really affect me on any level because I'm not on Facebook, right?
Right.
And Karen's on Facebook and she keeps me updated on things I need to be in the know about.
Right. If something major happens, she will convey that information to you.
Correct. And she did convey to me that yes, Facebook's down. There's some kind of issue with it. But that was yesterday?
That was yesterday. It
Yeah. Okay.
happened, they said about 11:30 or 11:40
Yeah.
a.m.
It went till after
Eastern
dinner time,
time.
right?
And it went till I guess about 7 o'clock Eastern,
Hmm.
somewhere in that ballpark. And it slowly came back up. It took a minute. Um, yeah, and Instagram was part of it as well. Joe's in Vermont. I want to move to Vermont, dude.
Vermont's cool.
Look
I've
at
been
that
there.
picture of Joe
Yeah.
with this big ass dog. I think it's a dog.
Yeah. It looks like a,
Is it a pony?
if I'm not mistaken, no, that looks like that might be, I forget the name of that dog.
It's that dog.
Yeah, it'll come to me. My neighbor, when I was growing up as a kid, had one, and his dog's name was Shazam.
I think this dog's name is Newfie.
There you go. Newfoundland.
Oh, he's in Newfoundland.
It's a
No,
Newfoundland
he's
dog.
not. He's in Burlington, Vermont.
The dog is a Newfoundland. I think that's
I
the
see.
type of dog that he has. That wasn't what my neighbor had. My neighbor had something else. It was can't remember for the life of me the name of it.
All right.
But I do remember it was all black and it was Shazam and it looked like that, but it wasn't a Newfoundland.
All right. So
Nonetheless.
So even though you're not a Facebook user, and a lot of people aren't, and that's fine, I do want to know what that's like. I want that freedom sometime in my life where I could just I don't
Yeah,
have to
and you got to remember the reason I never got on Facebook was not because I opposed it or didn't want to do it. It was just because I didn't have the time to keep up with checking it, posting stuff, and being on it all the time. So I figured if I can't invest any time in it, then why be on it? Just to have it and never be on it.
Well, you're not obligated to post things or check on anything as a Facebooker.
But then why would I have Facebook? If I'm not going to go on it and I'm not going to use it and I'm not going to post and I'm not going to surf and look at stuff and be part of the community, then like I said, that's initially why I said if I don't have the time to do it, it would just be a waste of time to join it. But shortly I'm going to have a reason to get on it.
Right.
So then
But
I'll
you have
be
a smartphone like everybody else does, and
Of course.
it's like while you're taking a dump, that's what you do. You look at your Facebook feed.
Gotcha.
Or you do something else like play Jeopardy like I do. I play Jeopardy on my phone.
Or you dump real quick and get out of the bathroom and get on with whatever you were doing before you had to dump.
Right.
Do that too.
You could do that too. Right. That's true.
But nonetheless, yes. So yeah,
A
but
lot
like
of
anything else, I
people.
guess it was at that time too, it was a lot of the mindlessness and the hating and all of the commentary and everybody,
Right.
ranking everybody else. It was just like, I just don't, I have no space in my life for that,
I feel you, man.
Yeah.
But I found something that worked as a means to get people together.
100%. It's a great platform for what you're doing and what you're doing. And I'm not saying I'm against Facebook in any way. It's just that that's the reason I never joined. And then as time has evolved now, it may be time where I will have to join, because I can now contribute some things and have an interest in it. But back then, when everyone was in the Facebook craze, especially through all the election stuff, it was just like the ridiculousness of just, people. I don't know how, like we talked about it, how you could have that much time in the course of a day to sit on Facebook and just berate other people and critique what other people are saying. And be so egocentric that your opinion, you have to force your opinion, across to the other person. If they don't agree with you, they're scum,
Right.
like just craziness,
Yeah, it definitely got bad.
For sure.
But so we got a taste of what it's like for 7 hours to not have Facebook. And
so let me ask you, Steve. So hang on. So what was that like for you?
It
Being
was
that
it was
your life line is the Facebook because, like you said, the group and you spend. Here's the difference I could equate it to is that I'm not even on Facebook, and you spend 80% of your day, if not more, on Facebook, working on content, working on your stuff for what you do. So it's a big part of your life.
well, it's
So
not.
after 2-3 hours, what are your thoughts then? Like when
Yeah,
it's not back up yet?
it's not the amount of time that I spent on it, because it's really quite not quite 80%. There's a freaking fruit fly flying around my head.
The same guy from last week. That's Franklin.
Yeah, he hangs out here. He likes it here.
That's cool.
Because my computer is always on, it's always open, and certain tabs are always open, and one of them is Facebook. And yeah, if something happens, I get a notification on my phone. So it's a considerable part. It's just kind of a hum in the background almost all the time. So it's just like any other habit. It's at first you're like you go to that, and then like, oh, it's not there. Oh yeah, that's right. And then that feeling keeps coming up. I didn't feel like worried at all. I just know that they'll figure it out. Whatever it is.
Sure.
Um,
But they still never alluded to what the issue was.
no, I don't think so. I didn't think too deep into it.
Mm.
Um, but it certainly got me thinking. What if this happened where it crashed and it's gone and that's it, but just like that, no warning, it's gone. Um, what would people would definitely go through withdrawals.
But let me ask you a question. When people sign up for the website for Cover Band Central, they have to give you some kind of information for their profile, right? Do they give you any contact info, like an email or anything?
Well, the people who are on the website, I'm not worried about them. It's the people
Yeah,
that are
no, but of
yes.
the people in the group, is there any type of tag to them where
In the
you?
Facebook group?
Yes.
No,
So if it went away, legit, you'd have no way to contact those people.
correct.
Gotcha.
And the page, 340,000 people
Yeah.
just gone. So I thought it's obvious that the thing I need to promote and tell people about is the website, because at least that's a place where this thing. I know I look like a crazy person now. This thing, it's the little fruit fly just flying around my head.
Mhm.
Uh,
And you gotta slap them fast to get them too. You gotta be
oh
like, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta have drummer reflexes. You can't be like and then it's over there by the time your hand closes,
yeah,
the air has blown it over there?
those things are pretty
That's
cool.
what happens. They're so light that when you go to crush them, as
Right,
you close in on them, the air between your hands pushes them out.
right. Anyway,
That's why fly swatters are made out of like a netting, like a fabric.
right. I get that.
No
Flies are
air
bigger.
pressure. Yes.
Flies are much bigger than these little things.
Yes, they are. Same concept though.
So
See, it's wisdom. It's all wisdom, man.
I know.
Why are fly swatters made out of like netting? It's so that they don't create any air behind
I
the
think
fly when you're
everybody knows
creeping
that.
up and killing it. Well, maybe some
Probably.
people don't, Steve. Not everybody
Okay.
knew Facebook was down yesterday. I mean, come on.
So yes, I'm thinking the alternative for people, because the people that are especially part of the group really like having the group, and
Mhm.
I'm sure they would all kind of go through some sort of withdrawal, because there's people that are on there every day commenting on things and
Yes.
posting things, and they would go through some serious withdrawal. So we have the website, so I have to try to convince you that you should sign up for a profile. It is free. There's no obligation. I don't send out a ton of emails. I send out a newsletter like once in a while, and that's it. So you're not going to get any spam or anything. And it's set up basically like Facebook, where you create a profile and there's a news feed. So any content that you pick, there are groups to join if you want to just be a part of the group, much like Facebook. Now, it's not as professionally done as Facebook, I have to admit, but it still looks and functions great. So, the more people that come in, the more we can kind of upgrade the functionality and the look of it.
When I do sign up, Steve, I'm going to sign up for me and my band, both.
Because you can sign up for you, your band, or both
That's right.
for free. So let's, if you'll indulge me, Tony, if you don't mind, I'm gonna just show the website because it's been a while.
Okay, let's have a little preview, Steve. a little walkthrough of the Cover Band Central homepage.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to show it, and I'll give you a little walkthrough of it. But it is coverbandcentral.com, and let's make sure you can see it there, and you can. So that's the homepage. That's what you see, and the menu up top gives you all your options of what you can do. But I'm going to scroll through. It tells you, upcoming birthdays, just like on Facebook.
Yep.
Pictures. This is my my profile here. So your avatar would show up right here in the upper left. But this is my Cover Band Central. And so you have a news feed, just like you do in the group. So you could come in here, put your picture up, put videos up, ask questions, and get discussions going, just like it happens in the group. Same deal. And you create events, so you could post your events, your upcoming shows, gigs here. This is kind of a all-in-one for musicians.
One-stop shop.
Browse through all the articles here, all the stuff that I've written, lots and lots of articles. The meme gallery, fun to look through funny memes. Like say you're looking for a drummer meme, right here. You just go to that memes tab, click on drums, because your buddy is a drummer, but you love the guy, but you like making fun of him.
You want to harass him a little bit, yeah.
Want to harass him a little bit. You go, or you want to put up something, that's more inspirational here. There's some drum memes right here, right in this, that I put them all together. So by category here on the website.
Wow.
There's a shop. You can buy some merch, some swag, classifieds. You're selling something, put it up there. You're looking for somebody, a musician, put it in there. And if you're available, put it in there. There's other services. You can promote your lessons, your graphic work, recording, marketing, whatever you do. You promote it here. There's so much you can do on this website. And if you're a member, if you sign up here, you'll get notified what's going on. And you can make this. You can be part of the genesis of this, making it the best website for musicians on the internet. And that's what I really think it is. And because everything, I'm a musician, I'm a working musician, and everything that I feel like I would need,
is right there. And that's the unique thing about it, because it's designed by a working musician. So the perspective of how it should, navigate is very hands-on.
That's right. It's coverbandcentral.com. Sign up for a profile for you, your band, or both. It is
yes.
Free. The link is in the description, by the way. I put that in there too. I really thought
that's run by professional musicians, not accountants moonlighting as musicians.
Exactly. Not Weekend Warriors. No offense to the Weekend Warriors.
No, of course not.
But that's what this is.
Excellent.
But I'm not working. I haven't worked since July because I had COVID and couldn't work during that. And just coming back and then lost my job. I told everybody about that a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
That the band has decided to move on without me and use the sub they've been using. So I was not permitted to come back to work after my battle with COVID.
You were not invited back to the party afterwards.
No.
Okay,
but I did get a message. I got a message the other day from somebody who knows of my situation and asked if I'm ready to come back, to just kind of come back a little slowly. And I said, maybe, what do you got? And they have in a couple weeks, so about a week and a half now, opening for a Maiden tribute band. And they're just playing like 8 or 9 songs. And they're all like 80s songs. And he's asked if I wanted to do it. And I thought, okay, this is a good way to kind of dip my toe in the pool.
No long-term commitment. Get out,
right,
play.
Right. And 8 or 9 songs is nothing. I mean, that's
a half a set,
not even a whole full set. Yeah. On Bourbon Street. So I agreed to do that. So, I got the list and it's cool. Some of the songs are like, what, really? And then some of the songs are like, okay, cool. So
that's nice. And when is that?
It'll be the 15th, Friday next week. And the main band we're opening for, I know the singer. He's somebody I've worked with before, so it'll be cool to see him. And I love Iron Maiden, so I want to see how good these guys are. I want to check them out.
Yeah.
And it's at a Southport Music Hall, which is the big venue here, kind of in outside of New Orleans in the suburbs.
Right.
And
You've talked about it before.
yeah, I played there before,
Yeah.
and so it's cool. So yeah, and I'm gonna rehearse with them at least once. They rehearse on Thursdays. Invited me to come this week as well. I don't know if I'm going to. I don't think so. I kind of want to just give myself a little bit more time with
Stamina.
yeah, and learning the songs. And I have other stuff that I'm doing, like Cover Band Central stuff that I'm doing that I want to get done before
But that is
I
a good way to
do
break
that.
in, like you said, because 8 or 9 songs, even if you're not 100% health-wise, like, if you don't feel like you're up for it, at least it's not, 3 sets, it's not a full night, of 30, 40, 50 songs.
Right, where I have to screw over the band and be like, "Hey guys, I can't keep playing." That would suck. Um, and I think I'm at the point where I probably could, like a Bourbon Street night, I could probably make it through, but I don't want to. I just
No, and a perfect, like you said, a half a set is a great way to ease back in.
Yeah, I really want to focus on Cover Band Central stuff. That's what's
Yeah.
kind of floating my boat right now.
But I
So
think if the gigs come along, like one here and one there, and it's the right thing, it'd be fun to do.
yeah, and I didn't have to do any that. This came to me,
Right.
which is kind of cool. Um, and the guy who reached out to me is a guitar player, really good. I've played with him before, a gig or two, a few gigs, I think, with him. We were doing a tribute thing, Foreigner and Journey and Bon Jovi tribute thing, and it's good. He sings. So,
Cool.
and I saw some video of the band that he's with, and they sound pretty good. It's hard to tell with the video. It was like a rehearsal video.
Right.
But I know this guy. I know he's talented, so he's not going to work with people who aren't that good.
Yeah, it sounds
So
like it, and you're in a good venue, so the band must be somewhat decent.
good venue, good gig, opening for a Maiden tribute band. I love Iron Maiden, so I'm gonna enjoy the whole night, play
Yes.
my gig, and then watch those guys play. And the Troy is the singer, and he's a very good singer. But I've never heard him sing metal. I was in a band with him.
Oh, so you know him, but not in the Maiden setting.
Right. I was in a band with him in a wedding band. He was the wedding band leader and singer.
Well, he must have some kind of Bruce Dickinson-esque pipes to be able to do it.
He does have quite a range, that I know, but I've never heard him sing metal, and I'm sure he's really good because he didn't, he's around the same age as me, so grew up listening to the same music.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's something to look forward to. It's giving me a little bit of anxiety now because I'm like, oh, I got to get all this other stuff done too. And
Hey, stay in the present. Don't project.
thank you. Wisdom.
Right? Wisdom, because this is where we are, right? There's all kinds of stuff that's out in front of us that we could be thinking about and worrying about and planning to do and everything, and it's just distracting us from what we're doing right now. So, you know, you got stuff to do on your to-do list, just start chowing into it. I mean,
Yes.
it's all you can do. Can't really worry about the time frame of the scheduling and oh my gosh, am I gonna be able to get all this done? And then you're derailing yourself on something that doesn't even exist except in your mind.
I couldn't have said that better. Very good.
Just repeating wisdom from previous shows, Steve, where you probably said something like that previously. So just
Probably.
regurgitating information here, you
Perfect.
know? Yes.
Yeah. It is exciting though because I do love October, and like we were saying before, with you going out
Yeah.
on weekends, it'll get
Rocktober.
it'll get me out of the house and
Yeah.
doing stuff with other human beings and enjoying the weather because the weather down here it gets really nice too. It doesn't get as crispy as it does up there, but
Oh, you know what's great too, Steve, about like going on the adventures, on the weekend when me and Karen went was
mm,
like years ago out in Tarrytown, I was I did a couple of jobs out there, and I had a friend of mine, Bruce, electrician. He took me to this place for lunch, and it was on the Hudson River, like right under the Tappan Zee Bridge. Like you could almost throw a rock at the bridge, like it's like right there. So I couldn't remember the name of it. So long story short, I look it up, but I remember when we went there, he was like, "Yeah, follow me. Like, I'm gonna take you to this really cool place," and it's like through this like crazy back roads, and then you're riding along the river along like railroad tracks with like rail yards, and there's like a boat yard, then there's like a burnt out boat yard, then there's like some like desolate property with fencing around it, and then like as you're driving, like as you're going back to, you're like, what is this? Like this is really shady, and then you get to like the very very end of this road, and there's a fence with like a broken gate on it. It's all crooked, and you pull through, and there's like all these like it's a marina with a boatyard of like all these skeleton boats, and then you make a right, and then you're in the parking lot of this like riverfront dining establishment. Then you go up these stairs, and you're like on this deck, and then you're right on the water.
Nice.
So if you didn't know it was there, you would never find it. You know what I mean? Like it's way off the beaten path.
Right. That's cool.
Yeah,
that whole East Coast, that around the northern United States is really nice. Even like New York, the New Jersey, like Fort Lee, and you go up. I don't remember what the roads are now.
Yeah, like 9W up to Palisades Parkway, up that way.
Yeah, up to Palisades. Yeah, It's a beautiful area. I used to go hiking there. Around that area.
And it was cool. It was cool to look at that side of the Jersey side from New York, because usually you're looking across the river the other way.
Right.
So that was pretty neat.
Cool. So yeah, I'm excited to go back and play. I haven't picked up my bass since July. So
are you going to practice the songs, or are you just going to wing it?
No, I'm going to practice.
Okay, good man.
Have you not seen this show before?
I didn't know. I
talked about it.
Yes, but I didn't know if you knew the songs already. Like if they were, like if there's 4 songs that you played 1,000 times, you're not going to have to practice them, I wouldn't think.
This is the way I operate, though. If I'm playing with a new band, with people that I haven't jammed with before, I'm going to prepare as if I don't know anything.
So if I say to you, Steve, we're doing Jesse's Girl, American Girl.
Are you going to be my girl?
8675309, and let's just say that's the first couple of songs. Are you going to go and put them on, and listen to them, and sit down and play along with them?
No.
Right.
No, not those songs.
That's my point. I know you're going to practice. I just didn't know if it was songs that you knew.
Gotcha. Good.
Like back your hand. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't mean to say, like, are you just going to show up there and be like, oh, I didn't prepare at all, but I'm just going to try to play. Like, no, they'd be like, okay, thanks, man.
That would be hilarious, because they'd be like, wait, this guy runs Cover Band Central? What the hell?
Yeah, what is this?
What the hell is this guy?
Loser Band Central over here?
He doesn't even practice Jesse's Girl? What's wrong with him?
Unprepared Central? What's up with that guy? Yeah, no, I just, that's what I meant. Like, was it 8 songs that like 6 of them, and you don't even have to even think about it? Just show up, plug your bass in, and play? Or are you going to actually like shed some stuff at home before you go?
There's some of them that I have to learn, because I've never.
That's fun. I just did that last year, 72 songs.
And it's not. I'm going to tell you what the song list is here. Okay, here we go. All right, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 songs. Of those 9 songs,
what's your favorite song on that list?
Of the 9 songs, well, first of all, of the 9 songs, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 that I don't need to practice.
Okay.
Of the 9, so there's 5 that I need to either learn and or practice. And what is my favorite? Was your
of
question?
The 9? Yes.
My favorite is "Don't Tell Me You Love Me" by Night Ranger.
And is that one of the ones you know?
That is one of the ones that I need to learn. I've played it long time ago.
Are you going to stand like Jack Blades in front of the train?
Yes, I am.
Excellent.
I love Jack Blades.
Yeah, I want to see that. Take pictures of that.
But I'll tell you the song. Look What the Cat Dragged In by Poison, which I don't even know how that goes.
Me neither. I don't think I've ever heard it.
I probably have heard it, but I can't.
But I mean,
call it up.
yeah, I couldn't hum it for you.
So that I need to learn. Fight for Your Right by Beastie Boys, which I don't have to go over. Turn Up the Radio, and I didn't include that in this, but I really don't need to go over it. Turn Up the Radio by Autograph.
Yeah.
I pretty much know it, but I would practice it anyway, that song, just because I haven't played it with a band in a long time. Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses. I know. But I would practice that song anyway. But I do know it. If I had to play it right now, I would play it probably perfect.
Gotcha.
But I'm still gonna practice it because I like it. Round and Round by Rat. Don't need to practice it, but I probably will anyway. Rock You Like a Hurricane, Scorpions. Don't need to practice it. But I probably will anyway. Don't Tell Me You Love Me. Jet City Woman.
Wow, Queensryche
by Queensryche from the Empire album. Love the song. I knew it back in the day, but I would definitely have to go back and relearn it and practice
blow the dust off that one.
And then Enter Sandman, which I don't need to practice. I know Enter Sandman like I know my own hand.
There you go. Lefty and righty.
So that's a pretty, but these guys are 80s, they're doing an 80s thing, which is weird because Jet City Woman's definitely not 80s. I mean, Empire was 1990, right? It was 1990.
90 or 91-ish.
Ray says, hey there, Ray.
What's up, Ray?
I'm going to say it was 90 with confidence. But I get it.
Let's see how confident you are, Steve. I'll look it up real quick.
Okay. I'm like a walking book of statistics, though, with music. And I play Jeopardy every day and watch Jeopardy every day. So I got a lot of useless information in my head. Plus I read, plus I'm on Facebook. By the way, we were talking about it earlier. If, you want an alternative to Facebook that won't go down and lose your stuff, coverbandcentral.com. Sign up for a profile for you, your band, or both. It is free. Free. And there's a lot of cool stuff on there. Just go to the site and check it out. You'll be like, all right, there's a lot of cool stuff on here. And I want to be in touch with these people.
1990 release, Steve Witchell.
See? You want to stay in touch with your friends and people in this industry, so go sign up there at coverbandcentral.com.
Yes.
I was doing a little commercial while you were looking it up.
That's good. So, Donna Steve, you were correct. 1990.
Donna loves Queensryche.
Love Queensryche, yeah.
I know my brother.
When Mindcrime came out, I was working, doing construction, and we were doing these big lawn surveys, and it was all day behind this big walk-behind machine, and I had Queensryche. I had the cassette in my Walkman on loop, and for probably a good 2.5 months, listened to that album every day, all day.
Minecraft?
Yeah.
One of the greatest rock albums ever.
Yeah, it was great. And knew it, and like you said, knew it like the back of my hand. We used to play all kinds of songs off it,
Yeah. I Don't Believe in Love was one of the favorites for us, that me and Jeff used to play it all the time. And
that was like one of the bigger hits off the record for sure.
Brilliant record. I saw them perform it live 3 times. It was the Empire tour is when they did all of Mindcrime.
Yeah.
Because they were an opening act when they had Mindcrime. I saw them open for Def Leppard in Long Island, Nassau. And it was Nassau Coliseum. And so I don't think anybody else on that tour, but then they did the Empire tour and they played all of Mindcrime from beginning and end. I saw that 3 times on that tour. Brilliant, just brilliant. I mean, the music, just those musicians, incredible. Scott Rockefeller, man, that drummer.
Oh yeah, he's way ahead of his time.
Yeah, badass. And the dual guitar, that 80s guitar kind of thing with the harmony solos together, but very tasty. It was all very musical, that album, and told a story.
Yep, and Tate's voice sounded great.
Jeff Tate's range is just unreal, man. How low he can go and how high he can sing.
Yeah.
one of the best out there of that era of the rock
And that was
scene.
and that was also one of the first albums of that era that had that, like, super production where it sounded really fat and full, you could hear everything, you know what I mean? It wasn't garage bandy, it was very produced.
Yeah, just killer. Sound effects and all told the whole story. It was a rock opera,
It was.
and that's yeah, one of the greatest albums.
Yeah, still a great album.
I got to meet Jeff Tate. I got to see him sing. I also got to see him perform Mindcrime um, in its entirety too in a club, Tipitina's here, about 5 or 6 years ago. He did a tour when they were still in litigation, like him
Mhm.
and Queensryche, and they
Right,
hadn't decided yet. But he was like, "Screw it, I'm going to tour." So he was like Jeff Tate of Queensryche or something like that.
right.
And but it was Brian Tishy on drums, Rudy Sarzo on bass, and gosh, I forget
That's a
the
heavyweight band right there.
yeah. So I got to meet Jeff and I got to meet Rudy, which was awesome because Rudy was one of my heroes growing up,
Yeah.
and it was
What a
cool talking
career
to him.
he's had, huh?
Yeah, but seeing, I mean, Jeff Tate's a little older, so his voice isn't quite where it was, but it's still killer.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, but when he was in his prime, untouchable.
Yeah, he's like one of like David Coverdale when I've seen Whitesnake has this range, but knows how to you really use the microphone and breath
Yeah,
control
yeah,
to not have to overexert themselves with notes.
no, he can definitely capitalize on the efficiency of his ranges, you know, like you said, by utilizing those different techniques. And mic technique is so important, and so, many people don't realize that, Like when you're at a gig, from being right up on the mic, even when you pull away or you turn this, it changes dramatically
Yeah.
what your voice sounds like.
Yeah, that's something that got hammered home to me when I was in Jersey and I was playing Mad Rabbit. Matt, the singer, Matt Wells, was a good friend of mine too, and he always used to say that mic technique.
Yeah.
Like he's doing it with because he's singing and he's got a free hand and he can kind of put this, but you're playing on an instrument, you're not holding it by hand, so you have to learn how
Yeah, to move away from it.
to
That's when
where
I
to
switched.
be
I used to wear a headset, but that was the issue with the headset mic. There's no way to pull away from it.
right.
You know what I mean? So then I switched to a regular mic on a stand. It's a lot easier to control.
And what kind of mic are you using? Like 58?
No, I used to use a 58, but it was a little too boomy. So I have a Sennheiser 603 or something. I forget what model it is, but it's a high-end Sennheiser mic. And it's great. It's got different range. It's got more of a hypercardioid pattern, so it's more focused, so I don't get all the bleed, from the
Right.
kit.
Okay.
But again, you gotta be right on it, which is not a problem because the way I have my mic set up, it's right. It's right in my face. I just have to, my range of backing off it is only, I tilt my head back a little bit. I don't have to really pull way off it.
Right.
And it works good.
Are you singing lead on anything?
Oh yeah, I sing lead on like 3 or 4 songs.
What songs?
I sing lead on Lido. I sing lead on Run on Empty, Jackson Brown.
Ooh, okay. Great
That's
song.
that that's a new song for us too, by the way. We just broke it out over the weekend, and yeah, really cool. A lot of really cool harmonies, and it's a live. It's a live version, obviously. But when you listen super carefully, there are some vocals overdubbed in there,
On
which
the
is
original recording? Wait,
yeah,
what are you talking about?
yes. So on Running on
Yeah.
Empty, when you listen to that live recording, you
Uh-huh.
can hear Jackson Brown singing on both parts. So at some point they must have went back and he added his voice to the background parts to make it fuller.
Got it. Got it. Okay.
Because he's singing "Running on Empty" and he's saying "Because I'm running on," and the band's singing "Running on Empty,"
It
but on the out,
overlaps, right.
but you can hear it on the record. Jackson Brown's voice is in that background vocal, singing over his vocal.
Right.
So that was
Gotcha.
just, little tidbit there. But yeah,
Nice.
great tune, man. Really good song.
Hmm.
And I was gonna sing "Roll with the Changes" by REO Speedwagon.
Ooh, okay.
But Ken, the singer in the band, he said, "Well, if I can't do it, then I said, then I'll give it a shot." And we played it, and he was like, he killed it, man. It was great. So I'm not singing that. He's going to sing it. I'm singing all the backgrounds on it with the other guys, but he's going to sing lead on it because he just said he did a great job. He sounds just like Kevin Cronin. Really
Keep on
amazing.
rolling.
Yeah.
Keep on rolling, baby. I love that song. We used to play it here too with one of the bands I was with.
Yeah, super upbeat, gets the crowd going, you know.
8 notes all the way through that for the bass player through the whole song. Which it's fun to play that because you have to just keep. It's good exercise.
Yeah, a lot of finger movement there.
Yeah. Cool, man.
So yeah, so like I said, we're not playing this coming weekend, but the following weekend, the 17th, we'll be playing back up at Tin Barn Brewery, which is another outdoor venue, which is great. The last time we played there was, I think I told you, it was like a couple hundred people, and then it got dark, and then it just the sky just opened, and it monsoon rained on everybody.
Right.
And like halfway through, like a quarter of the way into the third set, we got rained out. But great, but great venue. Supposed, we'll see what the weather's going to be, but fall weather's cool. It reminds me of like we used to play Oktoberfest. It's hit or miss. You could have like a 68 to 72 degree night, or you could have a 48 degree night. I remember playing a couple of October gigs where you could see your breath. It was cold.
Yes, I remember gigs like that too.
Yeah, especially when you're outdoors because everything's outdoor now.
Yeah, even down here a few years ago, before we were doing this, I played a Christmas party in Mississippi.
I remember that.
Outdoors. I probably told you. I was that before. I had to be before we were doing.
Wasn't that? Yeah, but that was back. Weren't you in like some backwoods, like little shady, crazy bayou bar, or was that a New Year's?
No. This was a nice home and a nice area outside in the back, and we had water behind us, and there was like a sort of a pier going out from this man's property into the water. So we were kind of set up there, and just facing the house with the water behind us, and it was freaking cold. It was I mean, a lot of people have to deal with more cold than this, but it was like 20, 25 degrees.
Yeah, that's cold to be playing outside,
Yeah, it was cold, and the guy was merciful with us. He didn't make us stay out there for too long at a clip, and then when we were on break, he would go into the warm house.
Was he Joe Owner?
He was kind of like Joe Owner. There's always a Joe Owner.
Joe Owner. We've talked about Joe Owner in the past, but we'll come back to that next week.
Yes, but that's challenging. Dealing with the elements when you're playing outside can be challenging. Because it's hard to play an instrument when it's cold and you're cold.
Yeah, and sometimes stuff doesn't stay in tune either if it's that cold out. You know what I mean? And your hands don't work, and it's electronics behave strangely, and things just happen.
There was actual like frost condensation on the drummer's snare drum.
Yeah,
that he had to clean off. Like,
yeah.
That's
must
cool.
Have been blazing. It must have been blazing hot chops.
That's like YouTube playing New Year's Day video.
Right. For real.
Right.
Out in snow in the fields.
Except there was no snow. But it was as cold as if there were.
Cold as could be, Steve.
In Mississippi. You would think that never happens in Mississippi.
Yeah, that is kind of strange, but I guess not.
Yeah. I like it. It's too warm here right now. I miss the cold. I might have to move back to Jersey.
Something we'll have to touch on too, not tonight, but on another thing. Think of all the interesting people that you've had the opportunity to meet over the journey of being a cover band musician. I was just talking to Buddy about that. We were just reminiscing about all, 30 or 40 years of playing gigs and all the, situations and people and just things that you wouldn't have been exposed to or had the privilege to experience if you weren't in a band. The things you see, the characters, the people you meet, being exposed to so many gigs at so many different venues and bars. It's like you always meet people that want to talk to the guys in the band, and they come up and it's, stories about, events that transpired around where the band was playing, or someone that saw the band playing, but you ran into somewhere else, and, or just kooky characters that you've met, like, that are always in full band attire at the food store. You know what I mean? Full band attire wherever they go. They're dressed like they're at a gig, even though they're not at a gig. So when you see them, you think like that guy must be a musician of some sort, but
Yeah.
over the top, like, the bandana, like, the Poison bandana with the rings and chains and vest and the boots and stuff hanging off your pants, and, like total rocker look 24/7.
Yeah. And as you walk, you hear those chains, chink, chink, chink.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Love it. And the places that you go to, there's so many places on this planet that I've been to that I otherwise would have never been to,
Right.
had I not been playing in a cover band. So that's another big aspect. But all those things you listed too. I did an article of the perks of being in a cover band, and you just basically covered all of that and more in a minute and a half. That's pretty good.
like your new promo person, dude. I'm like the BD guy,
Hey man, you're hired.
Just send me the stuff. I'll take care of it for you.
Yeah.
Elton might be your last week this week, buddy. I got a PR guy too, but I may have to get rid of him.
All right. As long as you give him his pension.
He's got pension. His name is Elton. He's cool. He'll be here for a while. He's not going anywhere. Just teasing him.
So anyway, cool stuff. Good week.
Yeah, good stuff. So to recap, so what is the plan then for the website? What is the culmination of the Facebook outage? What epiphany have you had that's now going to drive the next phase of Cover Band Central?
The epiphany I've had is that I need to tell people about it more. That's why I'm talking about it now, because a lot of people hear about it and like, I didn't know you had a website.
They just go on the Facebook page, right?
Right. So I need to make sure I'm talking about it a lot, so I reach as many people as I can, which is why I'm talking about it here. And I mention it every time we do a little podcast here, but I don't get deep into it. But and don't really emphasize this reason that Facebook could crash and then not come back, and then what would you do? You still want to be part of this community, so that's an option. It's there. I set it up that way on purpose to be similar to Facebook, so there's no learning curve. You can just come in and you know how it works, and it's kind of like your safety net, I guess. But you might find it better than Facebook right now, the way it's set up, because it's all just for cover band musicians.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going to get a lot of the trolls and stuff that Facebook groups do. People want to steer away from that negative stuff, and this is the place to do it.
As they should. Yes, you've come to the right place.
So sign up for profile. It's free for your band or both. coverbandcentral.com. And I confess I haven't put as much work into the website as I can. So I'm doing that now. I'm way more active on it and setting it up so it's much more user friendly for everybody, and good content, stuff that's useful.
Yeah, because you thought to yourself, what would I do if Facebook was through? Would I sit home and cry? You might. But you're not, because you're being proactive, Steve, and you're planning ahead for the demise of Facebook potentially sometime in the near or distant future. You will be ready.
Right, Nick. Once I get rolling, asked about a phone app. Once I get it rolling, where I got some revenue coming in, then I will get a phone app developed.
Yes, rolling. Because
I want one too.
I do too.
Yeah. So
Cover Band Central app.
And if you have any other ideas like that, like he did, you could send me an email, steve@coverbandcentral.com. That's the way to reach me. If you want to throw some money in the tip jar, paypal.me/coverbandcentral. Make sure you sign up for the YouTube channel. The link is in the description. Subscribe to YouTube. That's where all these videos are of the Wizdumb Hour that we've done, and all the other stuff that Cover Band Central has done is there on YouTube. So subscribe and you'll get notified. Click the bell. You'll get notified when we go live.
Notification.
Cool. All right, Tony. Good to talk to you as always.
All right, Steve. Always a pleasure. See you next week, my friend.
Good to see you all out there. Make sure you sign up. CorvetteCentral.com.